Rain drizzled over the grey streets of London, the kind that blurred the glow of street lamps and made the city feel both alive and lonely. At a nearly deserted petrol station on the outskirts, James Carter parked his beat-up Ford. He wasn't there for fuel, he was a single dad working undercover as a taxi driver to make ends meet while keeping a low profile after a bitter custody battle. He often pulled into quiet places like this just to breathe, to think, to remind himself why he kept fighting for his little daughter, Sophie. That's when he noticed her. A young woman sat on the cold curb, her hands pressed against her belly, shoulders shaking. She was clearly pregnant, her coat too thin for the bitter London night. Tears streamed down her face, catching the reflection of the neon station lights. Something about her loneliness struck James right in the chest. He hesitated. He knew what it felt like to be judged, to be ignored when you needed someone the most. So he walked over and crouched down, his voice steady but gentle. "Hey, are you all right? Do you need some help?" She looked up, startled, guarded, but her eyes told a story of exhaustion. "I'm fine," she whispered, though her trembling voice betrayed her. "Just lost. And tired." James took off his jacket and draped it over her shoulders. "Nobody's fine sitting on the pavement in the rain," he said softly. "I'm not here to bother you. Just, let me do one decent thing tonight." For a moment, silence hung between them, broken only by the sound of taxis whooshing by. Then she exhaled, as if a weight was slipping from her. "My name's Emily," she said quietly. "I didn't expect tonight to end like this." James nodded. "I'm James. And believe it or not, I've had a few nights myself where I thought I couldn't make it. But somehow, life surprises us." He helped her up and guided her inside the station shop for warmth. He bought her tea and a sandwich with the last of his coins. She resisted at first but then, with trembling hands, accepted. What James didn't know was that Emily was no ordinary young woman. She was the CEO of a successful London tech firm, a millionaire in her own right. But she had chosen to hide from the world tonight. Pregnancy had left her feeling vulnerable, and betrayal by those closest to her had crushed her spirit. For once, she wasn't the powerful executive making decisions from a glass tower. She was just a frightened young woman who needed kindness. As they sat at the small plastic table, Emily asked, "Why are you being so kind to me? You don't even know me." James shrugged, sipping his tea. "Because once, when I was at my lowest, someone gave me a second chance. I swore I'd try to pass that on, no matter how small. Besides," he smiled faintly, "I have a daughter. I'd want someone to help her if she was ever alone like this." Emily's eyes glistened, her heart softening. She wasn't used to compassion without conditions. Most people who approached her either wanted her wealth or feared her power. James didn't even know who she was, and yet, he gave freely. Hours slipped by as they talked. James shared his struggle of raising Sophie alone, the long nights of driving, the loneliness of pretending everything was okay. Emily opened up about her fear of becoming a mother without a partner by her side. In each other's brokenness, they found understanding. When dawn painted the sky pink, Emily finally smiled. "You don't realize this, James, but tonight you saved me. You reminded me that people can be good, without expecting anything back." James just shrugged. "Sometimes, all we can do is show up for one another." A week later, James received an unexpected call. Emily had tracked him down, not to thank him with words, but with action. She had arranged a scholarship fund for Sophie's future and offered James a stable position at her company, flexible enough for him to still be the dad he wanted to be. Only then did James learn who she really was. His jaw nearly dropped when he stepped into her glass-walled office overlooking the Thames. She wasn't the broken girl he had met at the gas station. She was a powerful leader, radiant and strong. But when she saw him, her eyes softened exactly as they had that night. "You didn't help me because I'm a CEO," she said with a tender smile. You helped me because I was human. That's why I'll never forget you." And for the first time in years, James felt something he had almost given up on: hope. Hope that kindness could change lives, hope that struggles weren't forever, hope that maybe, broken people could help heal one another. In the vast, bustling city of London, two strangers had crossed paths in the unlikeliest of places. A single dad searching for light, and a young woman carrying both new life and heavy burdens. Together, they proved that compassion is the greatest fortune of all.